Boy, oh boy, I cannot wait to get started talking about Xdefiant once again. If you don't know, I played a little bit of Xdefiant on the channel, but I mostly streamed a lot of content related around this game. And to be frank, I'm excited. I think the game feels good, it plays good, and it reminds me of that classic Call of Duty feel. I know a lot of people are saying that, but it does. It reminds me of that classic Call of Duty feel with the specialists kind of slapped on. It's like Black Ops 4 or Cold War in a way. But it gives me hope. The game feels good. It's going to be free to play, as we all know. And the preseason is looking pretty good in addition to the next 4 seasons. That's right. We've already got 4 seasons worth of information. So today's video, we're going to talk about Xdefiant and all the new stuff that's going to be coming along with it in the preseason and in the upcoming seasons. Let's just jump right into it. So first and foremost, I'm going to be using footage from when I was streaming the beta. We do have beta release dates coming up. The first dates will be the 20th through the 23rd, or I'm sorry, it'll be the 21st through the 23rd. But if you played the beta previously, you had that beta code that was given to you. However, you'll be able to play a day early on the 20th, which is incredible. Not too many other games do that. Most games will literally just restrict you to certain consoles and only let you play on those consoles for a certain number of days before everybody else. Call of Duty. But Xdefiant, on the other hand, if you played their free-to-play game with the beta code that was extremely easy to come across because you didn't have to pre-order or anything for you just to watch them streams, you'll be able to play a day early, which is incredible. The preseason, let's talk about it right here, right now. So one of the first things you're going to notice about this roadmap right here, we're going to have 10 arena maps and 14 progression maps. Now, these are the same number of maps that were in the beta, but again, this is preseason. This is not season 1. This is what comes with the game before the actual official seasons start launching. I remember playing a lot of these maps. They're colorful. They play really well for a 66 environment. I don't know how ranked is really going to play overall once we get a little more information on that and what other game modes might be going into it, maybe. I don't really know. But from my experience, they played really, really good. I mean, they were fluid, they were 3 lanes, they weren't too chaotic with a bunch of unnecessary campy rooms. Like, there were places to take cover, like most shooters, but it wasn't just a camp fest. Like, you had to move around the map to kind of get into the action. It was just an enjoyable experience all around. One thing I was wondering if they would change for the beta, or change from the beta moving forward, is the minimap. I kind of think it's just a little too small or a little too zoomed out. Maybe there's a setting for that I'm not aware of, but I had a hard time even looking at my own character icon on the minimap, or my teammates, or any of the red dots that would pop up, because in this game, unlike a certain other game, when you fire a gun that is unsuppressed, lo and behold, red dots show up on the minimap. But anyway, I wonder if they're gonna adjust that or not, but that's a discussion for another video. We'll talk about what they could adjust, like what they could nerf, buff, whatever. So we've got the same 5 factions from before: Cleaners, Libertad, Echelon, and Phantoms, with DedSec being one of the other factions that you can unlock. That's kind of how it was in the beta, so nothing new there. I do wonder how they're going to adjust these factions and change up some things. Cleaners had a really powerful Molotov that dropped instantly and killed anybody around them instantly. Libertad had the Healing Girl, who was arguably the best character in the entire game because she could instantly heal herself, instantly heal teammates. The abilities had a pretty short cooldown for the most part, and their activation timer was, like I said, instant. It was pretty freaking nuts. Echelon had a permanent ghost anytime you used any of those characters, if I'm not mistaken, so they don't show up on the minimap no matter what kind of gun they're firing, which is a little crazy since we don't get like UAVs and stuff in the game. And then we got Phantoms. Phantoms had what? The shield ability? Yeah, you could drop the shield with the giant shotgun, or you could drop like little portable shields or the riot shields. I'm not gonna lie, the riot shield was so much fun because me and a couple of guys, we ganged up on people in public lobbies with 6 riot shields and just beat everybody to death. That was a lot of fun. But I wonder how they're gonna adjust these factions to balance them out a little bit, especially Libertad. Libertad was nuts. Imagine you have the stim from Black Ops 4, but you have the perk on that makes you use it quicker, and then you multiply that perk times like 3. Stimming was nuts in this game, or the equivalent of stimming. You had it unlimited. It was broken. I wonder if they're going to adjust that. I'm sure they're going to adjust it, but I just wonder how. Next, we got the 5 game modes. The arena game modes, we've got what? Domination. We've got hard points, and then we've got TDM, if I'm not mistaken, by these icons here. Then we've also got the escort missions and the control like area, like control the tower kind of game modes, I want to call it. You have to take control of certain zones and just hold them or defend them. And every time the attacking team captured a zone, you guys moved up further into the map, kind of like something you would do in, I think, Battlefield, I want to say. No complaints here. I mean, the game modes are really fun. I'm looking forward to see what other game modes they add. Then, of course, we've also got 24 weapons. We had a variety of shotguns, tactical-esque rifles or single-fire rifles that weren't full-on snipers, SMGs, pistols, LMGs, sniper rifles, you name it. We had all of that really cool stuff. You know, no gun in particular really stood out to me except maybe like the MP7. If you put a movement build with that gun, which this game's movement really can get insane, that gun was pretty dang crazy. I remember cross-mapping people with it, just murdering people up close. I think the Vector was also really good. Don't remember much about the P90, and the MP5 was probably the weakest one out of that bunch. As far as ARs were concerned, I'm pretty certain the ACR was the best assault rifle in the game. But I mean, they all felt pretty good for the most part. Some people think that the TTK in this game is actually a little too fast. Me personally, I don't think the TTK is that bad. I just think some of the guns might need adjusting. Take the MP5 for example. That gun literally kind of felt like a pea shooter. I don't really think any of the guns are just blatantly OP. It's quite clear they're trying to keep everything balanced, but I do think some of the guns probably will and do need adjusting. So that's the preseason roadmap. Next, what we're going to talk about is the upcoming seasons. Now, we don't have a full disclosure on all of the information related to these upcoming seasons, but we do have a bit of an insight on what everything is going to look like moving forward in terms of the number of maps we're getting each season, the number of weapons, battle pass stuff, etc. So we're going to talk about this kind of quickly. Seasons 1 through 4 are labeled Ruby, Buzz, Orchid, and Horde. So we've got 4 seasons. Ruby is season 1, Buzz is season 2, Orchard, I don't know why I pronounced it Orchard. Orchard is season 3, and Horde is season 4. We're going to go over each of these seasons in a second, but for every season, we're going to be getting new arena and progression modes. A ranked mode is also obviously going to be here, private matches, and caster cams too. That's because Xdefiant is obviously moving in that competitive environment. I really want to know how like Xdefiant esports or whatever are going to really work out, but we've also got player protection, including ongoing work to keep competition fair. That's right, I'm just going to read what it says right here because I have no idea what that's actually going to mean. Then comfort features. Welcome list for beginners, I don't know what that means, and practice zones, like firing ranges and so forth, I want to assume. Now, for each season, we're getting 3 weapons, 3 new maps, and 90 tiers in the battle pass. Now, remind you, this game is free. Free. The battle pass is going to be the number one thing that funds this game, I want to say. I don't know how they're going to like keep up with the game and take care of it over time. Like, hopefully they don't let us down in that department. But considering how many COD pros are like behind the development in this game, I don't think they're going to allow like Ubisoft to fall behind on things. At least that's the dream anyway. Nothing's perfect in this world, unfortunately, especially Call of Duty. But I do like that overall we're just going to be getting a lot of content. Now, in comparison with COD, we do get a decent number of maps, I guess, per season. You know, you get 2 multiplayer maps, some gunfight maps, and some big open battle maps. But I think the only problem with those are most of them are kind of ripped from Warzone, and most of the maps that they've added are either remakes that we saw in MW19, or they're just literally terrible. I have faith in the map design with this game at least, and I'm not just doing this to meat rot, I promise, but I have faith. The maps in the beta were really good. I didn't hate any particular map. There was one map, Mayday, that had a bit of a spawn issue on domination. If you were on the seaside, I think it was, you were basically stuck in an infinite spawn trap. It was very hard to get out of too. So that was the only thing about the maps that I noticed was irregular. Domination could be a little inconsistent, but in terms of their flow and the colors and the way they play and the elevation, where you can go, where you can't go, they felt good. They felt really good, so I'm not worried about that. 3 weapons. We already got 24 in the beta. We got 24 guns. I think it was 24. Was it 24? I want to say it was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I've got my numbers mixed up. It could have been a little less than that. I don't remember. But we're getting 24 for the preseason. 3 per season, and all that's free. And I'm pretty certain we won't have to work for these in the battle pass. I could be wrong. Don't take my word serious with that one. I have no idea. but we're gonna have 12 new weapons across the first 4 seasons of this game. That's incredible. I think Ubisoft's gonna have a really special project here, and I'm looking forward to making Xdefiant content. We no longer have access to the futuristic Call of Duties on PC anymore because of the weird hacker situation going on, so I'm just excited to play something that's very similar to those games. I love the jetpack CODs, I liked BO4, I liked Cold War. This game fits the niche that I'm looking forward to. As for the start of the open beta, it will be starting at 10 a.m. PT, which should be, what, 1 p.m. EST my time, I want to say? And again, you will get early access to this open beta if you played the previous beta and you had the beta codes that were given to you and so forth, which is incredible. So we've got a lot of content coming. Xdefiant will also run at 120 hertz on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. No information if this is going to be the same for the Xbox Series S as well. And as a final note, Xdefiant will be releasing later this summer. Now, it was assumed that it was going to be releasing maybe next year, possibly. No. Xdefiant is going to be releasing later this summer, guys. So, what are your thoughts about all this concept? Man, we got a lot of stuff to play around with. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. And thanks for watching. This was Jay the Gamer. I'm signing off. Have a great day. Peace.